What's up, Polytopians? Today I've got a 1v1 replay for you here that I played yesterday. It's Elyrion versus Hoodrick. So overall it's a pretty balanced matchup, I would say. Both tribes get fairly good resource spawn rates. Neither of them are eco tribes, so obviously neither of them quite that top tier. But they're fairly evenly matched, I'd say. Both of them favour early game aggression. And both of us here, we're going... Neither of us went with the early warrior, so we're both going for early city level ups. Slightly cheaper for me because I only have to buy tier 1 tech, whereas he has to buy tier 2 tech there, so I've already got that level up going on turn 2. Whereas for him it's going to take actually quite a bit longer, so I would say as Elyrion I would favour the warrior first opener myself, but it's fine, it's just a different preference is all. Right, so there he gets his level up on turn 3. You can start getting warriors out next turn. Start exploring. So over here, I wasn't able to do much with 7 stars. I think I had calculated I was saving to get the level up next turn by buying forestry. Whereas him, he's got a nice early ruin over there. Oh, and yeah, he got to level up his city, so that's good. I'm going to be doing the same here. Yeah, bought forestry. I'm going to do a couple of jobs here. This city over here, I believe I chopped 2 forests. I'm already setting myself up for a good forest, setting up a good sawmill spot over here. I chopped the forest in that city because, as far as I'm concerned, this city was pretty useless. It spawned with very little resources. All of them require vastly different techs. I was just accepting that this was a really bad city early on. So I was just going to get that early level up in the city, claim those stars, which would then allow me to get a couple of warriors out for exploration. Over here, he got stars from his ruin, which is very, very good early on. It can allow him to get a lot of early city level ups. So yeah, let's see what he does to his stars. So first, he can level up the city first, and then he makes. I think this is a mistake. He bought the farming tech. Now he could have leveled up. He could have instead sacrificed these politors by just putting down a couple of lumber huts and leveled up the city, and then level up the city twice. That would have boosted his income significantly, and then he could just train a couple of warriors. I would prefer that. I assume he didn't want to waste the politors, but I would say it's worth it. I'm not a fan of politors as a unit. The fact that you have to choose between them or income, and then again with sanctuaries, you either choose population or stars. It's a reason I don't like Elyrion. You're not able to utilize all of your bonuses. You kind of have to pick, and I would prefer to just play them more similar to a standard tribe. But yeah, so he's just going for a Polytor. Over here, I wasn't too happy with my spawn, but it's not the worst spawn in the world either. I have a couple of very good sawmill spots, which is nice. But again, that's not going to be for a while, but it's going to allow me to get some giants out, which is going to be pretty cool. After all, Hoodrick does have the highest forest spawn rates of any of the tribes in the game, even higher than Barder. But then obviously Barder have quite a lot more animals. As you can see, a lot of these forests quite barren. So overall, I still think it's good overall. I'd say forests are the best resource in the game, because not only are they not only at 2 stars for 1 population, but then you can also have the option to chop if you want. So over here, I think he should immediately go for another city level up. I think he can afford, given that he's going to get stars back, I think he could afford to level up both cities, and then he still has not trained many units, which I disagree with. And he seems to be favouring politors over warriors, even though warriors would spawn closer to exploration tiles, so I'm not a huge fan of this. Yeah, he could have leveled up both of these cities, but he instead chooses to train a couple of politors. I don't really think it's a good move. I don't think politors, especially like if you can't, they're so far back in his territory. I don't think it's a good idea. So okay, over here on my turn, I choose to go for an explorer. I was hoping it would go upwards, because I think I was assuming I'd already seen that he was playing Elyrion. I was assuming he was up there. I would have liked to get the stars from meeting him, and also get a look at his terrain. But he goes down here, so I was quite disappointed with it. But it wasn't completely useless. I think if I... Well, I mean, not that I was allowed to choose anyway, but obviously stars would have been better. But so now I can go to these 2 cities. I've pinpointed the exact location using that. Right, and then getting another city level up here. I'm not going to choose an explorer. I considered an explorer, but like there was a chance it'd go back. I don't want to have a second explorer wasted here. You can't really rely on explorers, especially not this early on. Losing a star per turn would be quite significant. So I instead just chose to go for those level ups. But he's got quite a few more cities than me. I would say he had a fairly good spawn, but he is not leveling up. The fact that he hasn't leveled up these cities yet, it's costing him quite a few stars per turn. He then just chose to buy Rider Tech. I think he's planning to put on some aggression, perhaps. Right, so over here I bought a couple of techs to level up the city to get those 2 more stars per turn. Definitely think it's worth it. And it also revealed that the city has quite a lot of farmland, so it's not quite as useless as I originally thought, which is nice. And then go over here going for those. Yeah, city, and he's doing the same, going for his cities. Yeah, now he's fanning out and he's discovering a lot of his cities, which is quite nice. But again, these levels, they're practically free. These 3 population level ups, you get almost a full refund. It's completely worth it. You should always do it. Almost always do it. And yeah, so he's already got close. Yeah, you should always rush for the middle. I would say like you should always, when exploring, you head to the middle and then fan out towards the sides to try and like cut your opponent off. And so he's definitely doing better than me at exploring in the early game. And then he picks up an explorer, and he gets very lucky. It goes, well, he didn't even get lucky. That was the only direction it could go. That was a good explorer. Went right through my territory and covers most of my stuff. But then, like, again, he makes a couple of, his unit control is good, but he's making some bad decisions here in terms of economy. Not only has he not gotten these city level ups yet, now he's wasting 5 stars on a sanctuary that only has 1 forest next to it. I'm already not a fan of sanctuaries, especially this one, because he got it just to produce Polytopia on the front. That's not an efficient use of a sanctuary. And Polytopia are not even that good of a combat. They're okay, they're good when you have them, but I don't think this is worth it. It's definitely not worth it. You should have just gone for those level ups. And consider city walls. You should consider later on getting city walls in the city, since it's a complete choke point. That would make it a lot harder for me to break through, and it would keep me trapped in my small area. Okay, now he's getting some level ups. That's good. Yeah, I'm gonna get to level up another city. Get those city levels early because they're always worth it. Those instant 5 stars. I chose to get the lumber huts instead of harvesting the fruit because I'm planning to start putting down some sawmills pretty soon. And then I'm moving into those cities, bringing some warriors out. Right, so I haven't seen his board yet, but he's seen me, so he has some intel advantage right now. And he's like going down here. He's fanning out towards the sides now. It's good. It's good exploration. If he just leveled up, he'd be in such a good position if he just leveled up these cities earlier. That's a lot of. Oh yeah, then he's moving in with his Polytopia. He's going in for some. I mean, that is what they're for. Might as well start putting on some aggression. I would say I'm not sure if this like he had such a good eco spawn. He should just be playing, just building up his economy more rather than putting on this aggression. Especially he's not up against a strong eco tribe like Barda, so like he can afford to just like eco up and just chill. He doesn't have any. He isn't really on a timer to put on aggression. And yeah, it's going to be a bit hard to like push it. I have a lot of cities here. He's pushing him with just 1. That's it. I think he should play defensively and take an eco advantage on his superior city count. Yeah, now he's finally getting those stars. That's good. Yeah, look, see, he's getting he puts in like 6 or 7 stars and gets 5 back. It's a good deal. Level up a bunch of cities. I would consider city walls there. I mean, stars always great, but then like he's feeling right. He's trying to go on the offensive. Over here, I have less cities, but we have. I think I have like 1 less city than him, but income is fairly even because I've been leveling them earlier, and I have a lot more stars as well. I think I was saving up. Yep, I wanted to get mathematics, so I could start getting these insane sawmill spots. Get that giant train rolling. Come on, I'd love to see it. Ooh. Getting those big boys. I put the. I was considering putting the monument in the capital because that would have allowed me to actually get a second giant out immediately, which would have been nice. But I would rather just level up the city, get those instant 5 stars. And then that income would help me level up this city as well, so I think that was the right choice. I can get the giant next turn. Oh, and plus I wanted to expand borders in the capital anyway, because it was an epic storm spot. Yeah, so I think he's gonna continue taking cities, continue putting on the aggression. Ooh. That Polytopia is not going to make it. He moved the Polytopia away towards the front line. Just keep exploring. You should always have like a unit or units heading towards the edge of the map, just exploring down. You sometimes find cities down there. He knows there's a ruin down there as well. So I disagree with that Polytopia movement. It's not going to make it to the front line. Just explore with it. Oh, then he's already got roads. He's going to start connecting up his cities. Right. So again, like this early game aggression against Hoodrick, I don't think it's going to do much. I mean, Hoodrick have archers. And now I'm already getting my giants out as well. I think I'm going to be able to get 2 out this turn because it's such a good storm as well. Yeah. Look at that. That's some good stuff. I just love this giant pushing. Just pumping out these giants. Right there, he's spawned another animal. Yeah, these Polytopias, they're not paying for themselves right here. Oh, and he expands borders. That actually, I wonder if he should have claimed that city first, because he did cut a bit of that city's territory. It's probably fine. And then he's going for level ups. Yeah, so he always gets the first level up, but that 3 population level up is always worth it. I don't know why he hasn't been getting those. Right, so I'm going to be leveling up my cities a little bit more. Oh, see, I'm getting some archer back up. Planning to push in with these giants to try and break this choke point before his defensive line gets too strong. Oh, obviously I didn't know he had taken the explorer, so I didn't know he could already see the giants coming. Thought I was being sneaky. But no, he could see them all coming. But it's so far his response, rider aggression, does not work against giants. So I think he should have had a different response. Also, the fact that he's funneling all of the units straight down the middle, I disagree with. That's a cute move. He saved his rider by creating a Polytopia and pushing it back. I like that move. It's cool. Yeah, so he's okay. No, he is doing a little. You should always like these little units around the edge. You should explore the corners with them. They're not making it to the front line. I think this Polytopia should have been going up there. There's probably a city up there. He probably missed out on a city by not doing that. Oh no! Now he's going to start trying to push out some dragons of his own. The thing is, it's going to take 6 turns. Well, let's look at it. This giant is going to be sieging a city in 3 turns. A baby dragon will not help defend that. A fully grown dragon takes 6 turns. That's the thing. Elyrions, their dragons take a long time to get into the action, so it's not really going to help him. I don't think that's a good option for defending the city. I think he's even going for a second one. So maybe he's just planning to give up the city and then trying to hold with giants. Yeah, we'll see. Right, so for me, I'm going to level up the city. I was very glad it had farmland. Managed to get a giant. This city looked pretty useless earlier, but I managed to get a giant out of it. Got yeah. I wasn't too happy about getting a swordsman in the ruin. It's so far away. Can't really help in the fight. So I'm just going to be going for giant archer. I think so. It's a good strategy for pushing. I mean, with a few warriors as well. I think I'm going to be able to take this Polytopia out. They only have 1 defense. Finally get vision of his city. But yeah, and he's just like doing a little bit of skirmishing with his units. I'm not really. Yeah, I don't really know what his plan is here. So he's connecting up with cities. I guess he's just going for leveling. So now he's going for eco when there's an imminent threat on his city. I'm not really sure I like that. I think he should be maybe even like take to defenders to try and. I'm not sure if it's worth it, but like just like defenders farming in that city might slow me down a bit. Well, no, probably not, because the thing about archers can damage them slightly and then allows giants to one-shot them. It's a very good combo. I really like the archer giant combo, so Hoodrick's quite fun to play. So he's just going for more dragon eggs. I think he's pretty much giving up this city and just going for dragons. I mean, dragons are good. Don't get me wrong. They're quite strong on land, especially. Not so much in the water. And then now he's going for a little bit of expert. Okay, this Polytopia should head down here, because there's a city down here, and this Polytopia is not going to make a difference. Getting a city would make so much more of a difference in the game than like it slowly walking to the front line. So no, but he's finally claiming his stars at least. It's good. Getting those city level ups. It's a bit late now. He's missed out on quite a lot of income already. And like he's down quite a lot of super units. Right there, so I see a city over there. He hasn't taken it yet, that means he's not in that area. It either means that that's an island. I thought maybe it was an island. Or he just hadn't gotten around to it yet. But then, yeah, he buys mathematics. I think as like a... I think he's going like completely different. I think he plans like a defensive line of dragons and catapults. Dragons are good, catapults are not so. I'm not a fan of catapults. I see a lot of people building them. They're really not that good. They have no pushing power. They have no ability to move and attack. Archers actually outrange them when they move in and attack on roads. The catapult cannot reach the archer, and the archer can move in and attack it. So I'd say archers are a much better unit in my opinion. Yeah, so he didn't even try and defend the city. I got strategy tech from that ruin. It's not. That's pretty good, especially because now I'm going to the sea, and shields are an efficient unit in boats. 15 health for 3 stars. It's nice. I think I should have moved that. I mean, that swordsman very far. I should have just moved him down there. Just get him in a boat. Right, so he's... Yeah, so now he's just like suiciding units into the giant to try and reduce the... I'm not a fan of... The AI does this a lot. I don't think it's a good idea. At least not... If you can't kill the giant, especially, don't just throw away units for no reason. Especially because it's just going to help me get the killer monument. Right, yeah, so I get this city now. I can stop him from claiming that one because I have archers. Yeah, then I claim the city. I'm going to be able to level up this turn. And again, the killer monument. But the units he threw away have allowed me to get another giant out earlier than I would have been able to otherwise. Then I'm going to level up this city as well. Get another giant out of it at the front lines. I would say already, this is like the turning point. The fact that he just gave up the city and I've now been able to claim it, I would say he's already losing at this point in the game. And catapults, all they do is delay the inevitable. They don't actually give you any ability to fight back. And especially every time I get closer, he has to move them back or they die as well. So, I don't think it was a particularly good move. Right, so I've like yeah, because like you see, he didn't fan out. Like he would have been able to reach this, or at least contest this city before me if he had moved that Polytopia down earlier. But now I've been able to claim it because he didn't do that. Same, I'm sending a war up there. It's going to eventually be able to come around to this area because he was not fast enough. So I would say I liked his movement in the early game, but that's just definitely it's quite a costly mistake, as well as the lack of city leveling. It was a very costly mistake he made. I'd say that's the main reason that I'm winning this, because he definitely had a better spawn than me, and yeah, and he made some good, like if he managed to get the city before me, if he had held on to it, I would say he would have been in a winning position in this game. Right, so now I'm just leveling up my cities. Yeah, right now I'm planning to get giant battleships out here. Oh yeah. I took the Explorer because later on in the game, Explorers become more valuable to just reveal more of his territory, and the 1-star per turn it's less important. Yeah, the whales aren't worth it. If a single whale, I would say you need at least 2 or 3 for it to be worth it. I mean, the cost, you miss out on the free population if I expand borders, and the tech, the whale tech is expensive at this point. It's really not worth it. Yeah, so I'm just... like now, at this point, like there's just too many giants. There's just so many giants. But his dragons are gonna he's gonna start getting his like big dragons soon, which is gonna be good for him. But the fact that I'm already gonna have units in the sea and dragons are not very good in the water, I'd say they've already kind of missed their window. That's the problem with dragons. They take so long to get out, and their window use is so limited because naval combat is so dominating in this game. Maybe they'd be better on dry lands. Yeah, I should probably get roads. Yeah, get roads. Start moving those giants up quicker. Yeah, look, catapults, they die so easily to such cheap units. Yeah, and he's not able to get the city out either. Now I'm going to be able to get onto it with my giants soon. Yeah, I would say at this point, I played this endgame quite softly. I was not too familiar with the stats of the dragon. Archers do very little damage to fully grown dragons. But overall, I would say, yeah, I would say right now he's in a completely losing position. It's just going to take a while to break through the catapult line. Look, he's good, and this constant, he's suiciding all of his units into giants. Oh, that's not. If you have catapults to destroy giants, then what's the point of suiciding units in? Then there's no point buying the catapult tech to begin with then, because he still hasn't actually placed any sawmills, so that was just a big waste of stars. I think it would have been better. Like the thing is, I would say he'd be better off as swordsman, but there's not enough mines to justify that tech either. So maybe sawmill tech was the right move. Like, if you're going to go for maybe, like, you can't both go for lumber huts and sanctuaries. They're pretty much mutually exclusive now. So his tech tree, I can't really like say his tech tree is wonky because I don't really know what the Elyrion. I've always struggled to find like a good playstyle with them. They have always felt a bit wonky to me. So I can't really blame him for that. But he's just got like a bit of everything. His dragons are his saving grace at this point in the game. I just think like the regular tries to have a much more like streamlined tech tree experience. I see. I also have that sawmill tech. I got it for the sawmills, but I haven't built a single catapult because the archers are just better. I think you should have done the same. Archer Polytopia would have been better than catapult Polytopia. Those units work better together. I took another explorer to see that little. It's a strange sight seeing just a little giant over there claiming that city. Well, that absolute unit of a giant, really. He's not a small boy. He's a big giant now. I would say it's a waste, but the giant is literally the only unit he has who can claim that city, so I wouldn't really say it's a waste. I mean, a city is a city. It's always good to have. But yeah, look. But the catapults can only really be trained from these back two cities. The other ones are far too vulnerable. That's just 8 stars, like, down the drain. All it took was a 3-star unit to shoot it. So yeah, so I would say at this point, well, it's not that. Yeah, I would say at this point the game's over. Even though his dragons do end up getting a lot of work done, it takes quite a while to like finish this game out. But I mean, it's a shame because he played very well. Like this didn't feel like a stomp or anything. I was, especially early on, I was like worried I was in a losing position until because I obviously didn't know that he had delayed his city levels so much until he got the until I took the city. That was when I like felt a lot more confident then that I had like taken the choke point. And once I've secured more of the map, I do feel it was over. So it's I mean, the fight continues for quite a bit more. He was very tenacious defense, to be honest. It did take a while to break through. Yeah, but I think I'm just gonna speed up. There isn't really much to say about the end of this game. I'm just gonna like speed up through it. Greek players breaking a bit. Yeah. Yeah, it always breaks a bit when you speed up. Yeah, so this just continued for a while. I see. Once I've like reached both the corners, I have the majority of the map now. He continues, and then he continues his defensive line. But now I'm sieging these cities constantly, so he's losing a majority of his income each turn. And now giant battleships are out. It's over. Dragons are good, but they can't fight giant battleships. They have too much HP. So yeah, that's always where I found the problem with Elyrion. It was a bit. Their late game has always been a bit iffy, despite the dragon being such a good unit. Yeah, so later on, and then I think I start taking to customs. Yeah, I start taking to customs houses. I think it's either this turn or next turn. Constantly sieging these cities, which is hurting his aim. Yeah, so at this point, I think I would have resigned a while ago. I mean, but admirable to fight on even in a losing position. You learn more from losing than you do from winning. But overall, I would say it was a good. The early game of this game was quite a lot of fighting in the early game over that city. But I mean, that just goes to show how important those city level ups were. They set him back quite a lot, delaying them for so long. It was definitely a costly mistake, even though it can seem like a small one to make at the time. So yeah, I think it's. Well, yeah, this game really did drag out. So I'll just skip to the end here. The dragons were not. Dragons were not able to do much in the end. And then yeah, I mean that's just what happens when you go for catapults. Really, they delay the inevitable, but they're not a very useful. They're not a very useful combat unit overall. I mean, I thought David did it quite a lot. He plays Elyrion a lot, so he's definitely a better Elyrion player than me. I'm not going to pretend I would have played better. I don't really play Elyrion, but I mean, yeah, I just think Giants are better. I mean, Giants get they bring such a huge amount of power to the field immediately when they're fielded. So overall, I just prefer them a lot more as a unit. And also, archers are just a lot better than catapults in all situations. I would say catapults are only good at abusing terrain, really, and even then, you'd only get like 1 or 2 of them. They're very expensive units, and they often don't do much. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it was a good game. Bye bye.